This episode of The Lab Inside the Game Industry is brought to you by Midwest Games. Live from New Jersey, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Madison, Wisconsin, this is The Lab. With your alchemists, Angel Guevara and Greg Posner. Tonight's special guest, Karim Abou Shousha from Ubisoft Montreal, and Chris Cantero from Chazak Games. Also starring Cassandra Liu and Rick Bauer. Tonight on The Lab, Inside the Game Industry.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Lab. Before we even get started today, I want to do a huge shout out to our sponsor, Midwest Games. If you're a dev looking for a publisher that actually works for you, check out their new Shadow Publishing. It's a support model that gives you full publishing power under a simple work-for-hire agreement. Full publishing gives you publishing muscle, zero long-term commitments, and we'll drop a link in chat so you can see what that is. We have a stacked show tonight, but before we even get into that, Angel, my partner in crime, how are you? The host of Flama, what's new, man?
Dude, I am doing fantastic, Greg. Last week, I had a ton of fun, and this week I'm excited, dude. How are you?
I'm great. You know, Angel and I, we talk too often these days, but we are both planning
Too
a
often.
big GDC event.
Too
Too
often,
often.
dude.
Every time I talk, it's too often. But we are planning a GDC thing. We're trying to get a group of people the Monday or Tuesday night at GDC. We're going to go find a bar. We're going to get everyone together. We're going to have a little Midwest meets West Coast meets East Coast meets you, our community that's watching. So if you are planning on going to GDC and figuring out what am I going to do? How am I going to figure out how to make friends around here? Yo, come hang out with the lab. We will be there. We want to hang out with you. And I'm excited about that, Angel. This is your first GDC, I think. Are you feeling it?
Dude, that's an understatement. I am super feeling it. It's my first GDC. I used to work in the fintech industry as an engineer. I've slowly transitioned to the gaming industry, and now it's a dream come true. So, dude, I am down like the economy, bro. I am excited. You have been there before,
That's
right?
a way to put it, though.
You've been there before, right?
I have been to GDC a number of years in a row. I love GDC, but this is my first time going solo, and I'm even more excited this year because I can already planned a meeting with a whole group of people I've met over the years. And this whole industry, if you guys don't know it already, it's a very warm and welcoming industry. And when you have that awkward silence of, well, how am I going to talk with this person? You just say what your favorite game is, and they're either going to shit on you or they're going to say, hey, that's awesome. I love that game too.
Dude, Greg, what you're saying is 100% true. I agree with you because for me personally, it was really intimidating. I'm like, oh, getting in the industry, it's going to be difficult. People are going to be harsh with me. No, dude, everyone has been super welcoming, super supportive. And if you guys want to join us at GDC, hang out with us, let us know, dude. We are open.
And we will be posting things on LinkedIn over the next couple of weeks, just letting you know where we'll be, what we'll be doing, because we do want to hang out with you guys. We want to meet you. We want to be able to grab a drink, whether it be a boba, whether it be a beer, whether it be whatever, a coffee, and we just want to get to know you guys. So again, if you're going to be at GDC, let us know because we really do want to meet all of you. So, Angel, a lot of stuff has been going on, a lot of new things going on in the lab. I think it's time we kind of talk through some of these things that are new and we can check them out. As my screen's going crazy, I don't know if it's just my screen, but here we go. First of all, we have stickers now. I don't know how these stickers work because they haven't told us yet, but they are going to work. So if someone wants to throw a sticker out there who's on Twitch right now, try doing the sticker thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm anxious to see it and hope it scares me and gets me worried about it. There's other things as well, right? We have new games. There's going to be a whole bunch of new activities and interactive things that we have going on in games that are on Twitch specifically. Someone from the lab is going to post it into the chat. So if you check out your chat, you can do things like duel and vote and tic-tac-toe. Just remember, anytime you want to interact with the game, do an exclamation point first. So exclamation point vote or exclamation point duel. And then you can start interacting with those games with the lab bits that you can get for watching these. And we also, there we go. There's a sticker on me now. Perfect. Thank you, person. And now we have a goal. We are setting goals at the lab to make sure that we are providing you the right things, the right content, the right material to keep you happy. So tonight is a very modest goal. It shouldn't be too hard. We want to get 50 subscribers to the lab. We've had a number of people coming and watching the show. They're hanging out. We just want to get 50 subscribers. So if you're in Twitch, if you're lost in YouTube, maybe head over to Twitch, but go to Twitch, click the subscribe button. And whenever we go live, and we have more shows than just the lab, we put on interactive tutorials, lessons, and just random conversations throughout the week. Be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with our killer content, exclusive perks, and surprises that are going to be coming your way. That was a lot, Angel. Any questions?
No, that was perfect, Greg. Thank you for explaining all that. I would love to read the chat to see what people are saying.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. So we have Carbon Fiber looking forward to GDC. Let's go. From Kiel Quaid, great opening in VO. Let's go, let's go. Hello, good evening. Angel and Greg, good evening, good evening. Oh, Carbon Fiber is going to go to GDC. Let's meet up. Yeah, let's do it. Dude, people are excited. I'm loving the energy. Can we please get a W to start the show on a high note? Can we please get a W?
Get that W. I'll drop one here. Boop.
Yes, sir. Let me start it too. I drop one as well. All right. We'll wait.
As we're waiting for W's, let's talk a little bit gaming news of things that have been going on throughout the week. Every day this week, I feel like there's just been a whirlwind, and we had Monday off here in the States for some of us. I don't know, but it started off with some not so great news, which is with NetEase, which if you're in the gaming world, you may have heard by now, but NetEase laid off their Seattle R&D team. And that's a bummer. I know I've spoken to a couple of them. I know Angel follows a couple of the team members there, and they did a great amount of work for the Marvel Rivals game. I mean, one of them was the game director, one of them was the level designer. And I mean, if you're getting laid off when the game's doing as phenomenal as it is, what is safe in the gaming industry these days? And it's a question. We don't want to harp too long because this is a positive show, positive energy, but that was a bummer, right?
Yeah, 100%. It's weird because, as you mentioned before, it's kind of like you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. If you create a game that's not successful, you get laid off. But if you make a game that makes billions of dollars, you also get laid off. So it's kind of like, what's the path to take? It's sad. It sucks because, we know a lot of people in that company that are great creatives, but man, it sucks. And it's such a good game, right? It's so fun.
Man, it is. And, they got 2 new characters coming out this weekend too. So I feel like they're like strategically planning this. They're like, we're going to drop the rest of the Fantastic Four here, and no one will even notice. But we noticed. I did a podcast the other day, and one of the guys says, you know what? Gamers aren't stupid. Some of these publishers, I think that hey, they can sneak something by a gamer, but I mean, we're dorks that read stuff all day and follow the news. Like we know what's happening.
Yeah, 100%. We know exactly what's happening. And I just want to say that I hope everyone that got laid off, they get a new job. I hope they feel good. I hope they can find something else because they did a tremendous job in playing Marvel Rivals. Sorry, making Marvel Rivals. Me personally, I play the game every Sunday with my friends. So I really hope so from the bottom of my heart that they get to a good place.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll give them a W as well, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, they can put Marvel Rivals on their resume now, right? And everyone's going to know what that game is. So it's a win for that. In 100%. Mobile gaming news, I'm not sure if you follow the mobile gaming as much, but Niantic is looking to get bought by Scopely in a crazy $3.5 billion deal. Scopely is now owned by a company called Savvy, which Cassandra actually briefly spoke about Savvy last week. They're a big Middle Eastern gaming company that's being funded by Saudi Arabia to build up this gaming vertical in Saudi Arabia. And $3.5 billion for Pikachu. Is that worth it to you?
Dude, I would say, yeah, 100%. The revenue that those games make, yeah, I think it's worth it. Do you think so?
Look at that. We don't even know who throws the Screaming Goat sticker, but there it is. I don't even know if it's even showing up on Twitch. Yeah, it must be, yeah. I think it's a very interesting acquisition. Niantic has made a lot of games, but none of them have really taken off. I mean, they have Monster Hunter out there now, which I think made $75 million last year compared to Pokemon's 500. They have the Transformers license. They have the NBA license, and they try and do everything around that same geolocation thing that
Right.
Pokemon was a hit, which was great. I think it's getting people to go outside things fantastic, but I think this is probably great for both companies because Niantic has always been kind of stuck behind Pokemon for better or worse. So maybe this will be their opportunity to either spread their wings or do something else. And Scopely, I mean, Scopely made Monopoly Go, which made more money than I can count, right? So they got the funds to do this stuff, and it'll be interesting to see how that, as that market still consolidates a little bit, what happens next with each one of those brands.
Yeah, Greg, in 2016, did you play Pokemon Go? Were you a part of the whole craze?
I was not, but my sister-in-law was, and a lot of my friends were, and they were walking through like we go to Virginia Beach once a year. They were walking through graveyards in Virginia Beach. I'm like,
Dude, graveyards?
yeah, man, that's where the battles were, the arenas, whatever they were.
Dude, that is crazy. Yeah, I remember in 2016, it was insane, dude. I moved to Japan at that time, and just the streets, the parks were just filled with people looking at their phones, swiping their screens. It was massive. Maybe they can do something like that again. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they keep trying. It's just it hasn't hit like Pokemon has hit, right? And that's the thing is when you have Pikachu or Charmander, and I just know Pokemon because my son's into them now, right? But like, it's gonna sell. So I mean, what else can you build there?
Yeah, actually, we have something in the chat as well. Yeah, in Taiwan, it was insane too. Yeah, dude, all of Asia was everyone was playing Pokemon Go. I remember that. Guys, in 2016, when you are part of that, were you actually playing Pokemon Go and all those things? Let us know in the comments below. We want to know. Were you a part of the craze?
Were you on Hell? Did you say you were?
Nah, dude, I was not.
You cool for that?
No, it's just I don't know, dude. Like for me, I love video games, but I'm not like a mobile gamer. It's
You're
just
not a
not my
walker. You had to
no.
go outside. You're like, screw this. I'm out.
No, don't get me wrong, bro. I love walking. I love being outside, but kind of like playing the game on the go is not really my thing. I like huge screen. I like my PC playing games. Not really a phone gamer, but I understand why some people love it.
We got 3 more minutes, then we got to go to our first section. So the last one I will talk about are that one that excited me is that there's rumors that Tony Hawk remake of 3 and 4 is going to be shadow dropped this summer by Xbox. First off, you're a little younger than me, and by a little I mean a good amount younger than me. Tony Hawk 1 through 4 when they came out were just such a phenomenal time of gaming. I think we actually talked about this on one of our earlier episodes. Like I remember coming home from school, going to my buddy's house. He had a GameCube, and we would just play Tony Hawk on the GameCube for hours on end, hours and hours. And it was an amazing experience. Then Tony Hawk 1 and 2 got remastered like 4 years ago or something. And it nailed it. This like when a game nails it and a game nails it. The soundtrack was bomb. The game just felt right. And now 3 and 4, you know, they're a little lesser known than 1 and 2, right? But still, like if it comes out, I feel like skateboarding kind of goes up and down in its popularity. But
Sure.
hey, are you a Tony Hawk player on Hell, or am I just overly excited for this?
No, totally. I mean, I've played a couple of Tony Hawk games, like Tony Hawk Underground, Underground 2, American Wasteland. They were really fun. But I also think they're a product of their time, sort of like late 90s, early 2000s. Have we had a good modern Tony Hawk game?
Nah, Tony Hawk kind of fell off the cliff. But no, but you know what? Linkin Park is coming back. I think baggy jeans are coming back. And I think, you know, it might be time to start skating again.
Yeah, 100%. And I know EA is remaking Skate, right? They're making a new Skate game.
They've been making that game for like 8 years.
You know what? Yeah, dude. They're taking their sweet ass time.
And the thing is, Skate, no disrespect to Skate, it was much more simulation. Like it was almost real feeling. Whereas Tony Hawk, you could do like crazy flips and like
It's very arcade.
you can still find a way to land, and you're like, yeah.
Exactly. Greg, on the chat, we have a comment from While Quaid. It says, I stopped playing when I saw that video of the guy that got slapped and his phone stolen while he's streaming while playing Pokemon Go. Oh, that happened? What the heck?
Oh, these guys are taking the battles way too seriously.
That's a real duel right there, dude.
There you go. All right. Well, we have our first guest Chris, who's coming in tonight. Really excited to hear about his game, what he's doing, and on hell, I'm gonna let you ride with it.
Yeah, guys. So our next section, as Greg mentioned, I'm going to interview Chris Cantero from Chazak Games. We have a really special game. It's sort of like a baby, like if Fruit Ninja and Ghost Runner had a baby. Super, super interesting. Let's see the trailer.
Manipulation has a face, and it waits to challenge you. Engage with the fury of 1,000
All right, Chris, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on. This is really cool.
My pleasure. That trailer just, dude, it's just so much. There's ninjas, there's fruit, there's metal, there's a lot of things going on. What is high fructose? What is it?
Yeah, so that trailer is actually like 6 months old now, so I'm excited to show new stuff soon. So High Fructose is like Ghost Runner, Brotato, and Fruit Ninja all combined. So Ghost Runner is one of my favorite games of all time, and Fruit Ninja is a super popular old iPad game. So, and yeah, if you ever heard of Brotato, it's like a popular indie game right now. Yep.
Yes. Yes, yes, I've heard of all of those games. I was wondering regarding indie games, right? I think usually every year we see a lot of cool indie games, but it's rare when I see a game that truly just catches my attention like that.
Oh,
That
thanks, man.
Yeah, like me as a marketer, when I see your game, I'm like, this game can go viral. Tell me about the vibe of High Fructose. How did you come up with it? Tell me the whole vibe.
Oh, sure. So I guess I came up with the concept. I was working at id Software on Doom Eternal. I worked there for about 4 years, and we were working on Glory Kills at the time. And so I had a meeting with my creative director, Hugo Martin, and he was kind of explaining his vision for Glory Kills and that sort of thing. And one of his references was Fruit Ninja, the mobile game. Funny enough, so like he really wanted to get the feeling in Glory Kills of like really quick, really snappy, and a really satisfying kind of feeling sort of thing. So ever since then, I've kind of like had in the back of my mind like, it'd be really cool to do a first-person Fruit Ninja game. So that's kind of where I got the idea from. And I think genre mashing is always a good idea if you want to make an indie game.
Yep.
So like some of the most popular games of all time, like mash, two different genres together. Like for example, Hollow Knight, it's like Dark Souls and Metroidvania smashed together.
Right.
So I think it's just a great idea to take different genres and mash them together.
Exactly. Tell me how by the way, Doom Eternal, one of my favorite games. Thank you for that, Chris. How did Doom Eternal influence your work in High Fructose?
Well, it's a first-person game, so there's a lot of technical knowledge I learned working at software, like the behind the scenes, how everything's set up, how rigs are created, how to make things feel good behind the camera. So yeah, I think just working on Doom Eternal as a first-person game really influences High Fructose quite a bit.
Gotcha. Something that I see also as well is kind of like when you play Doom, both 2016 and Doom Eternal, there's this sense of like momentum. Like you're constantly on the move, killing things, executing things, getting power ups. It's kind of like a shark. Like if you stop moving, you kind of die. Is it the same way in High Fructose?
Yeah, so I had several iterations, and it was the first iteration was the AI wasn't nearly as aggressive, and it got kind of boring. And I wanted the auto shooter kind of feel where there's constantly enemies coming at you, and in the gameplay loop, every wave you can buy new guns. And so at one point you can have 12 guns and your sword, So you just need lots of, an army to slaughter. So it's just like there's stuff constantly coming at you. So
I love it. Yeah, I can definitely see the resemblance, and I love it. When it comes to High Fructose's art direction, it's sort of like it seems as though it's a little bit like for children, like it's kind of like cartoony, but it's also very cool. And the whole metal music. How did you find that like mashup between like cute animals cutting things and being aggressive? Like, tell me about the art direction.
yeah, so I was looking at other popular games to kind of like piggyback off. And there's this one game, I'm blanking what it's called right now, but it's a popular roguelike on Steam right now. And they have lots of like animal characters. And so I knew there was like a demand for that sort of game. And one of my favorite games of all time is Borderlands. So it's like a very simple, cell shaded comic book outline sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's what I'm going for my shaders. Like it's all very comic booky. There's an outline on everything,
Right.
and I think that kind of style is very timeless as well because like it ages really well. Like no matter how good graphics look, stylized art will always be amazing. And then I also didn't want to go like super realistic because I'm mostly just a one person shop. It's just
Right.
a lot more work to make stuff look good when it's really realistic.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, games like if you remember The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker with the cel shaded graphics, it never ages, dude. That's 100% awesome. Chris, I wanted to ask you, since you work in id Software, then you worked in Unity, I believe. How was your transition from AAA to indie?
Well, it's funny. So I left id Software because I wanted to make an indie game. I can't make an indie game work at id Software, just conflict of interest and all that. So I found an amazing job at working at Unity. So I got paid to learn how to do, work in the engine Unity. And
Right.
my game plan was just to make the game on the side when I'm working at Unity. And but a year ago, Unity went through massive layoffs. Like 25% of the company got let go. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to take my severance and jump right in. So that's just how it worked out. So it didn't go according to plan, but I think it's working out.
Yeah, 100%. Tell me, how has been the reception of your game? I know the demo is out there on Steam. I have played it and had an awesome time. Just letting you know. Thank you, Chris. How has been the reception?
Well, I went to this conference called MDev a few months ago. For anyone who doesn't know, MDev is a Midwest gaming conference. And so I set up a booth there. There's over 50 developers there. And I got a lot of positive feedback. And they also had a pitch competition at MDev. It's Exola pitch competition. And for anyone who doesn't know, Exola is like a monetization platform, but they also have like a funding division as well. So yeah, they hosted this pitch competition, and they had 5 developers there, and I went and pitched. It was a pretty cool experience. So I walked up to the podium and looked around, and it was a room full of people and people standing in the back. So it's pretty anxiety provoking. But yeah, I pitched the game, and at the end of the day, I got an award, and so that felt pretty good, and I felt validated. Like it's not like a terrible idea.
Dude, congratulations. I love that. How has been your life after you got the award? Did it help you somehow to get investors or something? How did it affect your life in a way?
So in entrepreneurship, there's something called bootstrapping. Basically, there's no investment, and you just do everything yourself. And my goal is to like start my company with no investment, so I own 100% of my company. So I'm hoping not to take any investment. I think I'm really good. But yeah, it was just like a validation sort of thing, which was nice. And I got a nice little plaque too, so that's cool.
Dude, heck yeah. Let's go. Guys, can I please get a W for Chris on the chat? Thank you,
My
Chris. Thank
wife made these little inigami things. If you've heard of those.
I love it. Dude, Chris, I love the art style, dude. I love the whole vibe you're going for. Do you have any merch? Any stuffed animals, any shirts, anything?
Well, I did a Kickstarter, and we did these mockette things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, the sword comes out. It glows in the dark. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but no active merch right now. No, I didn't get on that.
No worries. We definitely need some merch, man. We need some stuffed animals, some action figures. I can see this franchise becoming big. I'm telling you.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome, Chris. So you said you work with your family. I think you said your kids helped you with the game.
Yeah, so I got a 10-year-old. She plays the game. She's a nice QA tester, a nice slave labor.
Yeah. All right, all right. How about people on Steam? Have you been getting any cool reviews on your demo?
I actually don't have a demo page where you can review it. That's a new thing. I'm actually going to switch over to the review page pretty soon. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Gotcha. You said bootstrapping. You said you own like the whole company. How has been bootstrapping for you? That sounds very rough, especially for video games, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard. It's part of the plan. So I moved from Texas to Wisconsin to this live cheaper lifestyle, and yeah, that's helped a lot. And I've been saving as well, so I've been preparing for it.
All right, I love it. Well, it seems as though you're doing a good job. Regarding Kickstarter, I have a lot of friends who have done Kickstarter projects with video games and card games and other things. How has been your experience with Kickstarter?
Well, everyone told me it was a lot of work, and they weren't kidding. uh, but I think it's a really awesome experience. I set my goal. I got some feedback or some advice to kind of set your goal low, and then you can always go above it.
Mhm.
I think that actually kind of hurt me because I set my goal to 10K, and it kind of stalled out at 10K. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got your goal, you don't need it back anymore." So if I was going to recommend to anyone that are going to do a Kickstarter, like set the goal you actually want to make, because it kind of stifles the momentum, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, 100%. We actually, if you check the chat, Chris, there's a lot of people cheering you on. We have, yeah, Carbon Fiber says, "Oh my God, this is insane. Wow, this is so fun. Nice music. I love it." Welcome, Chris. A bunch of W's. Uh, Kyle Quaid says, "Congratulations on your journey and the award at MDev, Chris. Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Family effort." Dude, heck yeah, Chris. People are loving it. Tell me, what would be your biggest advice for someone who wants to do what you're doing, a bootstrap, make their own game, own the whole thing, do a Kickstarter? What would be your biggest advice?
I think the biggest advice from me is probably just plan years in ahead. Or if you're young, dive in right away because I got 4 kids and I got a mortgage. And if you don't have all that responsibility, it's just way easier to start your own business. But yeah, like if you're kind of, I'm 40 now. So if you're later in life, just kind of, you got to prepare for it, save up. Um, yeah. And I would also say don't go quit your job and do it. Uh,
Right.
uh, have a job, do it in the evening. And the only reason I did it is because I got laid off. So
Exactly. Well, you got laid off, but you're making this amazing product. That's a W for me. Chris, do we have a release date for High Fructose?
not yet. I was going to release during Steam Next Fest that's coming up pretty soon, but I'm pushing it back to the summer. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully sometime this year.
All right. I love it. Hopefully, because I really want to play it. Chris, before we let you go, we have a couple of minutes left. Where can people find you? If they want to contact you, play your game, where can they find you?
So you can search High Fructose on Steam. You can find me there. I'm on X, Cantero.Chris. Let's see where else. I guess that's the. Oh, I'm Blue Sky. Well, I made an account recently. I think it's the same name for Blue Sky. Yeah, I think that's where you can find me.
All right, awesome. And are you open to collaborate, like, open to work with other people?
Yeah, so I'm working with a guy in Canada right now and a girl from Germany, and then a guy from Pakistan's helping me out a little bit. So I kind of got everything settled right now, but yeah, I don't know, maybe in the future.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, if you want to contact Chris, collaborate with him, maybe ask him some questions, there you go. LinkedIn, Blue Sky, there you go. Chris, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's go back. All right, Greg, I'm back.
Awesome stuff, man. Great interview. I love Chris's energy. I love his learnings from Doom Eternal and how he brought those from what he heard his other colleagues say there and the glory kills and how he wanted to expand on that. I love the whole taking that buyout at Unity or the layoff at Unity, right? Saying, hey, this is a good time to grab my severance and leave, because you know what, the industry is kind of like that. And if you see your opportunity, sometimes you want to shoot your shot. So I love the questions you had, and I thought it was a great interview.
Thank you, man. 100%. And something that I really love and respect about Chris is, yeah, he got laid off. It's an unfortunate situation, but he turned it around. He's like, okay, let me learn in Unity, do all these things, and then let me do my own thing. I think for me, that's a total W. Like, that's what a successful person looks like. Someone who takes unfortunate situations and turns them into opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole saying, if life gives you lemons, right, you can either make lemonade or you can sit and cry, right? So he took it and he ran with it, and now he won best game or best pitch at MDev, and hopefully High Fructose comes out soon, so we could all be playing it.
Definitely. Have you played the demo, Greg?
I have not, unfortunately, but I'm going to now after I see it. I'm going to make my son play it with me and get him into it.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it. Guys, thank you so much for all those cool comments. I appreciate it.
So next we're going to pop in with Cassandra, right, and see what's going on in the world of news.
Let's do it.
Alright guys, welcome back to this week's What's Going On in the World. It's me, Cassandra, bringing the latest updates and then events all around the world. So before I start, I really want to mention that how I enjoy the conversation, watching the conversation with like Until and Chris, because I personally met Chris at the same MDev pitch competition room, right? Like Mark and I, we took Take That Main Stage also to that pitch competition, and I totally understand how like nerve-wracking it is to just present your pitch in a room of people. And yeah, and then Chris got the first place, Take That Main Stage got the second place. So I also totally understand how rewarding and validated that is, and give you a lot of confidence. Just love the whole conversation about like from the point of view of an indie game developer. And I also like reminds me a lot of good experiences in MDev, like how fun that is, and then how much I want to attend it again. I'm very jealous that Until and Greg is going to GDC this year. I'm not going this year, but definitely I'm gonna watch out for like 2026. Awesome. So let's see what's going on around the world. So first event I got is in Qatar. It's actually a web summit. It's called Web Summit 2025. It's 4-day online a conference, and then it kick off this Sunday, February 23rd to next Wednesday. So you definitely need to get a pass to join this summit, but it's completely online. What's cool about this event is, although like this event is actually a broader event, so it means it's not only targeted for video game. It's actually any startup that's like tech startup. So why I highlight this event is because how like recent years the gaming industry changes, and traditionally indie developer or game studio are always looking for a publisher, but as a publisher, the role is going to change a little bit as well. So people really need to be creative about seeking funding, right? And then so we, like as a game developer, you also need to like open up to Kickstarter, publisher, also investor like this. So this event actually have a lot of like famous, great, from big to small like investors, such as like ARK Invest, Sequoia, and Hongshan. All of them are present. And then so it will be one side with all this investor, another side with all the startup. So it's a great way to connect. And then even though the chance of always getting funding is hard, but put yourself out there, connect with people, get feedback. That's always helpful for you to get one step closer to get that funding. So there's also a startup program by this conference as well. Although this year the submission is closed, but I suggest to check it out maybe for next year. We're always seeking for those opportunity. All right, so the second event we have is in Poland. It's called DevGam 2025. It's an international game conference. It was originally started in Ukraine, and then it's mainly focused on the East Europe, right? And then this year it's hosted in Poland. And for those who don't know, that Poland is actually a big dev hub right now. Like each year there is a 500 plus games come out for Poland. So this year Poland is the host. So it's gonna kick off next Thursday. It's a 2-day event. You also need a pass to attend this event. But what's great about this event is I did look into their website. They are offering a $100 entrance pass for indie developer, which is like really nice. Really nice of them to, indie game developer always are tight on funding. So really nice of them that offers this option for like affordable option for the indie game developer. And also want to mention is, you're not in East Europe. How do you participate in this event, right? There is a $150 online network pass, which means you get this pass and you can send a limited meeting request to all the attendees. So if you're seeking for like networking, you want to meet more people, definitely you can participate through this way as well. All right, so last but not least, we have Steam Nest Fest. Just like Chris just mentioned, like it's gonna, so this like the most recent one is gonna be starting next Monday to Sunday. So week-long event. So this showcase the upcoming games through free demos, developer live streams, and community interactions. So from the gamer side, really just like you do your shoppings. You go out there and you browse, you find what's coming, you put them into your wish list, like so. Yeah, it's definitely like a cool place, a cool event to explore. And for developers, that there are 3 times that a year that Steam gonna host this Nest Fest, right? But however, you can only do it once for your game. So definitely like be very strategic about attending this Nest Fest. Is like I definitely want to play test all the time, but this is a great opportunity. Like your game might be featured on the fest, so definitely want to use this opportunity really to get valuable feedback. So definitely like I'm thinking also to take the main stage at some point, definitely going to Nest Fest as well, but definitely I need to think about it, right? Like at some point, like what would be the best time to showcase my game on the Nest Fest. All right, so that's it for this week. Well, back to Hill and Greg.
Dude, Greg, you know what I was thinking?
What's up?
Dude, we should get sponsored, dude, to go to all these events. Go to Doha, go to Poland. Dude, producer, please make it happen, dude. Make it happen. We want to travel.
Yeah, you gotta talk to the producer about that one. It's a lot of travel.
Hey, man, I'm down. I'm down to go anywhere.
You lived in Japan. You lived all over the place. You're down to go wherever, whenever. Which one of the events outside of GDC would you most want to go to?
Dude, honestly, I heard Gamescom is like really good.
Gamescom is fun. That is a huge venue, though. It's like a massive. You get lost, and then a lot of cosplayers, if that's your jam. Have you ever cosplayed?
I mean, for Halloween, I dressed up as like.
You can't count Halloween.
I mean, no. I mean, if you don't count Halloween, no, I've never cosplayed. Not really my thing. But maybe in GDC, we'll see something.
There you go. What would you choose?
Hey, man,
straw hat guy. Someone that wears a straw hat. That's where he's gonna be.
Yeah. There you go. Have you cosplayed, Chris? Are you into that?
No, not at all.
No.
I'm a wuss. I don't like to get dressed up, but I'm really more adventurous these days. Maybe one day, but no.
Dude, I'm gonna see you at GDC. Wear like an ultramarine armor and just walk around.
Perfect. That sounds very comfortable. That's what I want to be. At least I'll feel safe in San Francisco. That's what I like to tell myself.
Hey, let's go. Let's make it happen.
So now we're going to start talking to our second guest, Karim. He is from Ubisoft Montreal, and I am excited to talk to him. So let's do it. All right, Karim, welcome to the show.
I hear my voice twice.
Well, that means you're not muted somewhere. Can you hear me all right? Ooh, now we got an echo. He's a lighting artist, not a sound effect guy. So I think he could hear me. I'll set the audience up before he figures out what's up with his camera. But he has been with Ubisoft Montreal for almost 4 years now. Can you hear me all right? Hello. That's why we don't do things live, but everything is live. But he's been a lighting artist, and I find that fascinating because, you know, when you start building a game, right, you don't realize there's all the little nuances that need to come up with the game, right? You think, you know what, I'll throw together some visuals, I'll get some sound in there. Maybe you're a gameplay expert, so I'm going to make some great gameplay. But then you build this boring looking environment that you can't really see anything, and you realize, shit, I need these little sound effects to really make things pop, or this lighting to make things illuminate and see. And I think it's just this fascinating world to figure out. All right.
You hear me?
All right.
I'm hearing my voice twice.
Let's close your ears.
So what's wrong?
We're working on some echo issues. Yeah. So Karim, can you hear me all right? Now we hear nothing.
Oh, now you can hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Okay, that's perfect.
Can you hear me all right?
So I'm very sorry. I don't know what's wrong, but thanks so
right.
much for having me on.
Yeah, no
I'm
worries,
so glad
man.
to be with you today. So, try again.
Yeah, you know, it's, you know, when you do it live, you think you got everything set up, and then the camera goes live, and you're like, oh crap, something is not working. Last week I couldn't unmute myself, and Angel was making fun of me. So, you know, these things happen on the live broadcast. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're at Ubisoft, and you are a senior lighting artist, and I think that is a fascinating thing. As I'm going to make everyone listen to me say it again, how you don't realize how nuanced game making gets in the different fields that exist. So to start high level, how do you find yourself becoming a senior lighting artist?
Oh, well, to be honest, I was a senior environment artist for more than 14 years. But since I was young, I dreamed to become a lighting artist. But I dreamed to work with Pixar. At this moment, I remember 10 years ago, I spoke with someone. He's very famous. It's called Jeremy Vickery. He worked with Pixar for long years. And I asked him, I love your work and I want to become a lighting artist. He said, yes, he saw my work and he said, yes, you have a great talent. And I think you have to push yourself more. And he gave me the best advices in my life. He said, let's try first to work in the game industry. I think you're gonna find your passion there. I'm from Egypt, and it's very difficult to find a job in game industry there. So it was a very hard to find a job offer. I applied in many company, but I got rejected because I live in Egypt and I have to be in place. So I took a decision and I said, I'm gonna take the risk. I will sell everything in my country and I will go to Canada, try to study there. And after that, I will try to find a job. Uh, I got two rejected visa, and then the third one I got approval. I moved to Canada in 2019, and then I studied for 2 years. And after the day I graduated, I sent my application to Ubisoft. I found there is a lighting artist, and I dreamed to become a lighting artist because it was my favorite part. I work in an environment to just be a way to become a lighting artist. After a month, they sent me a message, and then I got approval. And it was my first project in Skull and Bones, and then I worked in a Sanctuary Mirage. It was the best project I worked ever in my life. So lighting is the big thing for me. I always say I love the lighting such as anything in my life, even more than my wife. I hope she will watch my me streaming now.
I love that you found lighting specifically. Like, what you did environmental artist, right? Like, how did you know you were drawn to lighting? Was it a project you were working on? Was it a tool set that you used? Like, how do you figure out that lighting is your passion?
I am the person who want to take his camera and take some photos around. Always find my soul in the natural. So lighting is the big thing for me. When anyone asks me what is the light meaning, I'm always say lighting is the past to allow us to feel and experience everything around us. Because without it, we are blind, right? And when I start to read about the lighting, I feel with the lighting, I can telling the story. I can make a connection with the person who saw my work. I can give him more emotional. So it's not just about the source light. It's about how you can telling the story with your light. So when I start to work in the environment, I start to put some light, and I saw there is many good feedbacks from other artists. They said, Karim, you have a good experience, I think, in lighting. At this moment, I say, okay, let's try to focus more on lighting and try to push my experience more. From that, I found myself, I fell in love in lighting. So everything now in my life is about the lighting. Every single day, I'm always taking some videos, some photos to have some reference. And I believe about work what you love until you love what you work. Or sorry, love your work until you work what you love. And that's what happened. I fight for 14 years in this industry until I became a lighting artist. And I'm really happy for what I'm doing right now.
I I love that. I don't know if you're younger than me, but I don't know if you're familiar with like the clapper. You used to be able to clap and the lights would turn on. I feel like that's something you'd wake up in the morning and just see the light and be happy. But I'm curious, when you're working on a AAA title like any of the Assassin's Creeds, right? Like, when does the role of lighting take place? Is the level built already and they say, hey, go to town? Or like, when does your role start?
Uh, well, uh, It depends on the project, to be honest. So there is some projects we have to start very early because in the games we have three levels: L1, L2, L3. L1 is just we put the default light without anything, just default skylight. If we have 24-hour light circle, we just put in place. We don't care about the light fading or any technical stuff. And the second part for L2, we start to set up the light props and put in place, and to start to put this light to follow the player navigation. So I can say I am in the second level, but again, it depends on the project. For example, my latest project in Victus, I started from the first day, so without even have any talking, because we had a discussion about the art blocking, how we can get the reference, what the mood we are looking for. So it's really depends. Some project, if we have a good art director, so I might come later on. Like Mirage, I joined Mirage after a year and a half, I think, and I worked on only for 9 months or 10 months. So it depends on the project, but again, it doesn't matter where you are, but what you're gonna do in this project.
As we're talking, your art station keeps popping up, right? And the stuff that you create, there we go. Right, I think it's phenomenal. The detail, it's I can't even put it into words, right? Like, it's amazing that that's coming from the visuals of a game, and I love how far AAA gaming
Thank
has
you.
come to really build these visuals that tell a story. And I know we're coming close to time here. I got two more quick questions. The first one is, what is your aspiration after you do this, right? What does a lighting designer want to do? What's your next level?
Well, it's a great, great question. Uh, for me, I'm always trying every single day to become better than yesterday. So when I became a lighting artist at Ubisoft, I say, okay, if I stay in my place, I will never be better than what I are now. So what I did in the last 3 years, I started to learn some programming. It's not actually programming, but I learned a blueprint in Unreal Engine. I love Unreal Engine so much, and I started to create a tool to, to help the other people to make the lighting much easier. Because, for example, if you are concept art, you have no experience in lighting or animator or any other person, so you just need to drag and drop the light, and that's it. And that's what I did. The first thing I did is underwater. I am a free diver. I love the diving so much, and every time I dive in the ocean or in the sea, I feel it's completely different world, and I dream to have this world live in Unreal Engine, and no one made this before. The things that I saw before is not that have the realism quality. So I say, okay, let's put this in Unreal Engine. I spend about 9 months to just create these tools. Uh, I surprised because the first tool it was for free, and then I saw many people. It's more than 50K person did downloaded these tools, and I got a great feedback from other person. And I say, okay, let's try to make something better. I create other tools like Sky Atmo Pro or Aquarium Packs. My plan, I am dreaming to become a lead lighting artist. So it's not about the lighting rules, but I just need to feel okay. I am here in this place because I deserve this. I put my whole time, my whole passion on this position. And from time to time, I'm always trying to make some free courses on my YouTube channel to help the other people to make the light real as much as they can. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
I love it.
Help the people.
I know we're pretty much at time here. So I think we're going to be planning a lab live with you where we can watch you do lighting real time. I can ask a lot of silly questions that don't make sense that you know the answer to, but you can explain it to me like I know nothing. But I also keep seeing these Unreal boot camps popping up. You want to let us know, what is that Unreal boot camp? Also, where can we find you if we want to learn more about this?
Oh, you can find me I have a personal website, linkmentor.com, and also my art station or even LinkedIn. I'm always active in LinkedIn. So don't hesitate to book me anytime. I'm so glad to answer your question. Uh, yeah, it's my three content. You can book me anytime.
Cool. Well, Karim, this is awesome stuff. It's awesome to find someone that found what their passion is and working towards their passion. It's rare these days where people find what they want to be doing and are able to do that. So for you, I give you the utmost credit. Not only are you great at what you do, the Assassin's Creed games look amazing and the lighting stands out as them, right? As you're sneaking around it. And we've seen you doing stuff with 217. I just think the stuff you're doing is great. I'm looking forward to doing a LinkedIn Live with you. And I really thank you for coming out today. And anything last you want to say?
For me, if I want to give the people the advices, I'm always want to know to say if you love something, no matter how little experience you have, trust me, the more you try, the faster you will learn. Never be afraid to ask the question because I know there is many people they afraid to ask the question. But if you want to grow fast, don't hesitate to ask a question, but try to first to do your own research because when you do research, you will find more answer. So yeah, that's my advices. And really thank you so much for this great event. I'm really hope to meet you again. Thanks,
Yeah.
Chris. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Dude,
Man.
dude, just I'm speechless by Kareem's story, man. It's
Awesome,
just
isn't it?
seeing him in Egypt, just not giving up, selling everything, going to Canada, working on his dream, working through rejections, and achieving his dream. Dude, guys,
Yeah.
can I please get a W for Kareem, please? Or multiple W's.
It's also, again, I know I say this and it doesn't sound like it's so rare that someone finds the exact spot where they want to be and that he's so comfortable there. He's teaching others about it. I think, that's how you create good games, man. You know what you love to do. I don't want to say stay in your lane, right? But you know what your lane is. You're the expert in that. And I just love that. I think it's amazing.
Greg, have you seen a game or a movie or something or animation or something before the lightning was like put on the scene?
I have, and it is jarring. I've also seen Doom Eternal, since we talked about that, without music, and it is wild how lame, and not lame, but just slow. It's a completely different game when the lighting isn't right or the music isn't there. This whole thing is a symphony, right? And people don't understand that, but when everything clicks, it clicks, and I mean, lighting is this thing that no one thinks about. But I remember in games like GoldenEye, you can see the light on the ground and like you'd look at it, it's just like, oh, I wonder if I stand in it, will I block the light, right? Or I don't know, all these little things. It's all these little Easter eggs that are fun.
Yes, I think as gamers, when we play a game, we're so immersed in the game, we kind of forget a lot of these small things that make the game. But when you see something before the lightning is done and it looks absolutely horrible, and then you see it with the lightning and you're like, whoa, it's like night and day, dude.
I
So
think even
Kareem,
I think even before this interview started, I think we were talking with Karim and about Max Payne, and I think Max Payne's another great example of how lighting and the rain and things pop off the rain. It's just like, wow, like someone's doing that. Like it's not just natural; like that's purposely there.
yeah, 100%.
We got
They are the ultimate heroes. So keep it up, Kareem.
we got a couple things just to re-mention again. We have a lab store. You can use your lab bits if we get there. You'll see it popping up here. You can scan the code to go there. We could also drop the URL in chat, but be sure to check out any of the lab merch. It would be great. Look great at GDC. I think Angel's gonna rock the pink hoodie. If he's not, I will for sure. And also, again, big shout out to Midwest Game. Thank you so much for your support. We love the games that you're building out there. We love what you did at MDev. We just love being a part of everything that you're doing. So thank you for that. And with that, Angel, we're close to time. Anything else you want to talk about before we hang up and say goodbye?
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I was wondering, guys, are you people who are watching? Are you going to GDC? Any plans to go to GDC? Anyone?
Carbon Fiber, I know is.
Carbon Fiber is going for sure. Anyone else?
All right.
All right, we'll definitely wait.
Polls out on LinkedIn. Who's going to GDC, and we'll start getting people there. But I got a handful of people already, and I'm pumped to just be with people. I'm locked up in here with my kids too much time, so I need to get out there and see people my age.
Yeah, you got to see California sun, dude. It's gonna be great.
I don't know that much, but I guess that's my only choice here.
All right, well, that's it for me, man.
All right, so with that, again, this episode, we thank you, the community. We do this for you. We do this with you. We do this just for everyone, right? We love learning about this stuff. We love learning about what you do. We are spinning the wheel tonight. Do we know who's spinning it? Let's check the chat here.
Let's see.
Kyle Quaid gets to spin the wheel tonight.
All right, Kyle, you got it, man. Just type spin and win or spin it, and then we'll spin it for you.
Wheel's not going to spin. Come on, Kyle. Spin that wheel.
You got to get that drift.
It just spun anyway.
Spin it. Let's go. What did you get?
Buddy. 10 Alchemy Lab
And
dollars. You're gonna get that pink hoodie before both of us.
no.
Bummer, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, congrats, Kyle Quaid. That name is from something. I don't know what it's from. I want to keep saying Dying Light. It's not Dying Light, though. That's a different Quaid. But I
It
like
sounds
the name.
familiar, yeah.
Yeah, but again, everyone, thank you for coming out. Big thanks to Karim and to Chris for coming out. We're going to make sure to check out their games. We'll share them with everyone. And again, thank you so much for everyone, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week and great night.
All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.